Well, hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is a new video I'm going to make here. I belong to a X-Plane beginners group, and we get a lot of new people in X-Plane that are asking different questions. And some of these questions for you people that are experienced in X-Plane, they may seem very simple and basic, but when you're new to the sim, it's a big deal to know this stuff, right? So I'm going to make a video here to help out somebody that asked me about a particular situation, and that's how to install stuff into X-Plane 11. He's got a Steam version, and I happen to have a Steam version too, but this will work for anybody that has a regular version or a Steam version. The two things I'm going to show you is how to install an aircraft manually into X-Plane 11, how to install something into X-Plane 11 if it's got an auto installer, and how to add any add-on sceneries into your custom scenery manually that you download from xplane.org or wherever you get them. Somebody gave you a scenery and you want to put it in your X-Plane. So I'm going to show you how to do that too. So the very first thing you got to do is figure out where your X-Plane folder is. And that's where he's having trouble. He doesn't even know where to find his folder, so I'm going to show him how to find it. First thing you do is you click on your computer, and that'll bring up your hard drives. Well, I've got a portable hard drive going. I'll shut that one off. I don't need that one. So these are my two main folders. 99% of the time when you install X-Plane, it will go into your C drive, your default drive. Now, your default drive might be called a D drive. My second drive is called a D drive, but sometimes somebody only has one drive. It could be called a C, it could be called a D, but most of these call a C, and that's by default where X-Plane goes. I put mine in my D drive because my X-Plane is huge. I got all kinds of ortho scenery, and my X-Plane is 3 terabyte. We see I got a 6 terabyte hard drive here. This one's only 1.3 terabytes, so I use this one for my my smaller games and my operating system. So 90% of the time, X-Plane will go in here, but we're going to talk about the Steam version because that's what he's got. So what you got to do is you click on, like I say, you click on down here to computer, click on computer, it'll bring up this page. Click on your C drive because we're looking for your X-Plane 11 folder, right? Click on program. 90% of the time it goes in here. Program files times 86. Scroll down, you'll find Steam, because I've got several Steam games. Steam. Well, let me back up. If you don't have a Steam version, you'll find X-Plane 11 down here in this page, on this page. But we have Steam versions, so it'll be in here. Click on Steam. Steam apps. Common. And that's where you'll find your X-Plane 11. It'll say in here X-Plane 11. I don't have it in here. I've got this stuff in here. But I've got my X-Plane 11 on my D drive, so I'll show you where mine is. Mine is in here. I click on my D drive, my Steam apps, my Common, and there's mine, X-Plane 11. And in the C drive, when you go past Common, you'll see this folder, and if you click on it, you've got all your X-Plane 11 folders. Alright, so now you write that down and you know where your X-Plane 11 is, okay? You found it in your C drive. Do it again. C drive, program files times 86, Steam apps, Common, and you'll find X-Plane 11 in here. Alright? So you know where it is. Now, I've got this one program here that has an auto installer. So we'll open this up. I've already got it installed, so I'm not going to go all the way with it. And when you open it up, there's my auto install. Set up Windows XE. And if you buy a payware airplane that's got most times they have an auto installer. A lot of Orbs has auto installers. A lot of sceneries have auto installers. But if you get an auto installer, here's how you find your X-Plane 11. You start your setup. You want to continue? Yes. And this is the next aviation program. This is a sound program I have. I won't go all the way with it, but I'll show you how it works. You click on next, and then it'll ask you for your email address. Well, mine's pretty public, so I can put it in here. I don't care if anybody sees it. And then I put in my password, whatever your password is that you gave them to buy the product. In this case, I can put in my password. And next. And it'll bring you to something like this, whether it's an airplane auto install or a scenery auto install or a sound file auto install. And you'll get something like this asking you to find your X-Plane folder. You want to know where it is. So you click on here. And if it's in your C drive, what you would do is you would click on here, C drive. Scroll down, look for Steam. Program's 86. Steam. Oh. Back it up. I should have clicked on Steam. Missed one. Missed it. Steam. Steam apps. Common. And you'd find your X-Plane 11 in here, and then you just click on X-Plane 11. In my case, I can go back up to the C drive and I can close that. Mine is in the D drive. I go D, Steam, Steam apps, Common, and X-Plane 11. There's my X-Plane 11. That's all you got to do. Just highlight it, click OK, and it will automatically install into your X-Plane 11 if you have an auto installer. And that's how you do an auto install. Now for, well, I want to abort this. Yeah, I already have it installed. And that's how you do an auto install. Now, I've got over here an airplane and a scenery. I download the scenery from a scenery site, and I got an airplane from xplane.org, free airplane. I want to put them in my X-Plane 11, okay? Same thing. If you got it on C drive, click computer, go to C drive, and C drive, yours would be, like I say, I'm doing it several times, repetitive program files .86, Steam, Steam apps, Common, and then you would click on your X-Plane 11, like we're going to do with mine. Mine is in the D drive, so again, click on computer, D drive, Steam, Steam apps, Common, X-Plane 11. Now I want to put this airplane in, so all you got to do is open up your aircraft folder and drop it in. There, bang. When I start the game, I'm going to see that airplane. It's actually a glider, but that's what I'm going to see. Okay, so that's in my sim. I don't need that anymore. I can delete it. Now here's the custom scenery. I think it's Phoenix. I'm not sure what it is. But we're going to put it into the sim, all right? Same thing. Click on computer, your C drive if you have your X-Plane in there. Mine is in here, so I'll click on my D drive, Steam, Steam apps, Common, X-Plane 11, custom scenery. I've got a ton of it in here. I'm going to scroll over where I get a empty spot so I don't accidentally put it inside another folder. And I drag it into my X-Plane 11. Bingo. Now there it is. It's in X-Plane 11, but it's not quite loaded yet because to load it, it's got to go into your ini file. And if I open up my ini file, you can see that my top thing in my ini file is a forest exclusion. This should be another lesson. I've got a I think I did a video on it. I've got a editor program where, you know, you get those scenery. Sometimes you got trees on top of buildings and everything. I use these exclusion editing to take them out. That's another story. So you notice, why I just opened this to show you. Notice right now my top thing is EHAM forest exclusions. So keep that in mind. I'll close that. I've just thrown this KPHN in airport into my custom scenery. So now what you do is you start up your X-Plane 11. Let's take a second to get going here while I enjoy my A&W root beer. It loads pretty quick, which isn't bad for a sim that's got 3 terabyte of files. I can't believe I got it up that high. But I've got most of the United States and Europe in ortho. There, my X-Plane is loaded to this home page. So once you get that far, you close it again, and that's an old one. I gotta close that. Now what I do is I open up my X-Plane 11 folder again. Common, X-Plane 11, custom scenery. Now I can go over to my scenery packs, and you notice, because it's a new install, it puts that scenery KPHN right at the top of your scenery ini file. Well, a lot of times you don't want stuff at the top, so you want to move it down. I want to keep my airplanes or my airports below all my exclusions and below different things. So I'm going to highlight this by holding down my left mouse button and sliding over, then right click on the blue area with your right mouse button and click cut. That's like copy and paste. And then I'll left click here, and I'll use my back arrow, and I'll backspace, and I'll move that up. That's where I like it. Now I can use my mouse wheel and I can scroll down. I'm going to go down where I got my American airports, which are all the K. Here's a bunch of K. So I can click behind this one, anywhere in particular, hit the enter button to make a space, right click, and click paste. And see, I've moved the KPHN down here. And when you close your ini file, you click save, and it'll save that order that you just made. And that's all there is to it. Now another thing that I do is I right click on, when I make a new ini file, I right click on it and I copy it, and I'll paste it on my desktop for now because I already have it somewhere. And I'll stick that somewhere. I can stick that in a folder where I'm going to save it, like new folder. Or I can make a folder. I'll call it X-Plane ini, and I'll stick it in there. And I always, every time I put something new in my X-Plane 11, in my custom scenery, I make a new copy. I make a copy of my new ini file, and I save it. Because if anything messes up your ini file, like if you do a repair, like if you go into Steam, say you got some corruption in your Steam files, you can click on Steam, and you can click on Library, My Games, and you can click on X-Plane 11, right click on it. Wait a minute, I got some messing around going on here. I'll try that again. Games. Right click on X-Plane 11, click on Properties, and it'll bring up this window with X-Plane 11. When you right click on it, left click on Properties, it'll bring up this window. Click on Local Files, and if you click on Verify Integrity of Game Files, well, I won't do it now because it takes too long. It will fix all of missing files in your Steam version of X-Plane 11. But when you do that, what it does is it messes up your scenery packs and it puts everything in alphabetical order. And if you got everything in alphabetical order, it's a mess. So all I got to do then is I got to go in here, right click on my ini packs, copy it, go into my custom scenery, paste it. You want to overwrite it? Yes, I do. And it's fixed. And that's how you fix your ini file. If you've got it, if you know you got a good ini file, save a copy of it. Because if it messes up, all you got to do is overwrite it with the one you know is good. So there's a couple tips how to install into X-Plane 11. Have a nice day, folks.